before you pack your bags and move to Baltimore County. This is the dark underbelly that lives beneath the charming exterior. From soaring crime rates to harsh winters, these are the top 10 reasons why you may not want to move to Baltimore County. Well, hey there, I'm JohnRuckman. I'm the Charm City Property Dude, and in this video, we're going to go over the top 10 things that you may not want to move to Baltimore County. And I'm going to be brutally honest. I hate to be with the dramatics and all that, but these are the top 10 reasons why you may not want to move to Baltimore County. But go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button for the notification bell for all these great videos, because I'm going to be brutally honest with you. Number 2 may just be the deciding factor that you may not want to move to Baltimore County, and we're going to get to it. So let's dive right into the number 1 reason why you may not want to move to Baltimore County, and that is the crime rate. You know, I know we get a bad rap here in Baltimore City about the crime rate. I know Forbes magazine and the news, they all concentrate on the bad, but there really is a lot of great news. And while the crime rate is slightly above the national average, you know, usually when you have a significant number of crimes and stuff, it's based on the populace. So of course, you're going to have a little bit more violent crimes reported each year. And I assure you that Forbes and the newspapers, they spend 5 seconds on good news and they send 20 minutes on the very, very bad news. But if you take it into consideration of, like, you know, there's a million people in Baltimore County and the crime rate might be 1,500 crimes a year other than speeding, that might take into consideration that, you know, that is kind of skewed. So you have 0.000001% of ever being involved in a crime, but that is the number 1 reason. You might just say, hey, forget Baltimore City, forget Baltimore County. I'm going to stick to the suburbs, and that's okay because I service Harford County, Anne Arundel County, and all the counties surrounding Baltimore. All right, number 2. It goes without saying that the traffic congestion here in Baltimore County, particularly during rush hour, can be murderous on your psyche, your will to live. It's stop and go. But when you move here, you'll start to learn when you can and cannot travel around the major routes, like 695. 695 at about 2:30, 3 o'clock every afternoon. Getting on that, forget it. But guess what? There's all these different avenues of getting out of the city and in and around Baltimore County. And usually it's about 2:30 to about 4:30. Those 2 hours where the interstates are all congested and clogged up. And I tell you what, maybe it can be very frustrating and very time consuming if you don't understand the ways around here. And that just might be the reason why you don't want to move here. All right, we get to number 3. Maybe it's the high cost of living. I mean, the cost of living in Baltimore County is slightly higher than the national average, particularly when it comes to housing and taxes. But you know, you can go to New York, you can go out to Pittsburgh, you can go to Philadelphia, you could definitely go out of DC, or you can go to Baltimore City. All those places are slightly higher than Baltimore County. But if you're coming from like the Midwest, where, you know, taxes are a couple $100 a year, your rent $650 a month, or you're trying to buy a house here because your business has transferred you here, then Baltimore County may not be the place you want to go. You might want to consider places like Harford County. You might even want to consider places like Anne Arundel County. Those are slightly less expensive, but you're just definitely not going to get around paying taxes or, you know, getting in to the suburbs here on some decent housing. All right, so number 4 might be the limited job opportunities. Okay, I'm going to take this brutally honest with you. You know what? We do have a high account for healthcare jobs. We have jobs of every variety. We have Amazon, we have DOD, we have the Army, we have, I've already said Amazon, we have Target, we have Walmart, we have all these different jobs that are support to that. You also have a lot of high-tech jobs that are located in Hunt Valley. I have a lot of my friends and families and clients that come in here that move, and they They live in Hunt Valley because it's closer to the tech. Now, are we a huge tech giant like out in the Midwest? No. Do we have fields and fields and fields and fields of servers and stuff like that? No. But what we do have is we have a very, very high concentration of high-paying healthcare jobs, and we have a lot of high-paying DoD jobs. Did you know that the national DoD is located right there in Howard County? And the DoD here probably is one of the biggest employers here in the state of Maryland. So we have a diverse economy. The job market is very competitive, but if you're patient, it does have some challenges, but a lot of people who are relocating here already have jobs and are coming here because of jobs. All right. Number five is limited public transportation. Baltimore County does have public transportation system, but it's not as extensive as, say, Baltimore City. Harford County is even less, but Baltimore County does have the Link bus, does have the Uber and all that stuff. We're not saying you can't get around. They also have like the rideshare programs that come out of the city. You jump on a bus. There are also a couple light rail. Let's call it the light rail. I'm thinking PATH. PATH is in New Jersey, New York. The light rail goes to Owings Mills, also goes all the way up to Hunt Valley. So while if you're looking to take a bus directly downtown, it might take you an hour or so, but you could do it. There are different bus stops along York Road. There's definitely the light rail, which stops a variety of different things. And in a future video, I'm actually going to jump on the light rail from Hunt Valley near Wegmans, and I'm going to take it downtown. But if you're thinking like New York City, no, definitely not. Like the middle of Philadelphia, definitely not. Cabs are a thing of the past. You can get to work through Uber. So, all right. Number 6. Maryland is a female name. I've said that before. Right now, she is completely off her meds. We're sitting here in the middle of spring. Yesterday, it was almost 90 degrees. Today, it barely hit 59 degrees. So from one day to the next, you never can tell. You don't have to pack your jackets and your winter wear. Always keep a jacket around. But yeah, winters here can be very, very harsh. I mean, Baltimore County can hold its own when it comes to cold, snow, and ice, and the accumulation of such, making driving and walking very hazardous. But again, we get used to these kinds of things because you never know. This year, we didn't have any. 2023, we did not have one snowflake hit the ground. We had no accumulation whatsoever. Next year, we might have 112 inches. You never can tell. Number 7, there is limited outdoor recreation. I mean, there's parks and recreations. There's a lot of different things. There's a Mom and Pop Trail, the NRT. There's Sky Zone. That's where you jump into the trampoline parks. We are limited, but it's not as much as, say, in the bigger cities or the bigger towns or out west, but there is a plethora of places you can go. 1, biking. 2, you can jog. 3, you can go sightseeing. You can bike, you can go inner tubing, and Baltimore County is no exception. You have the Loch Raven Reservoir, which you can go bass fishing. You can rent a little electric boat, go out there and go bass fishing. You have the NRT Trail, which goes from Baltimore County all the way up to like Glen Rock, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, way up there. So there's no lack of places you can go. But it's not like New York City. It's not like downtown Baltimore City where you can go block to block to block. You see basketball courts and high school football fields and soccer fields. When you go to New York, you might see those all over the place, like Bryant Park. You might have some down there by Chelsea Piers. There's definitely, we try to make up for that. We do have dog walking parks and stuff like that. So that's, and if you need more of that, then maybe Baltimore County's not for you. Okay, number 8. So while we do have some cultural diversity, Baltimore County is not known for its cultural diversity, which means some folks might want to seek a more multicultural environment. But I'm here to tell you there is a melting pot of people who live in Baltimore County. There's no shortage of everybody, and all are welcome. I've never seen anybody be turned out from Baltimore County because of anything related to race, gender, or anything. So all are welcome. You don't want to move to Baltimore County, and that's okay because there are a variety of different places around town in Howard County. There's definitely right there in Baltimore City that there's the Eruv. I'm very interested in that. That's the Jewish community. So there's a place. All are welcome. I'm not saying anything more than you are welcome to come to Baltimore County, but for you, it just might be a little different. That's all. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about here. There's more than enough people here. So number 9 may be a strong reason why you don't want to move to Baltimore County, and that is because there are higher property taxes. Property taxes in Baltimore County are higher than most of the other areas which have affordable homes and living expenses. So, I mean, average sales prices for houses in Baltimore County range anywhere from $350,000, which seems to be the average here in Maryland, $350,000 all the way up to $1.5, $2.5 million homes. Somewhere within that plethora of housing fits you, but the property taxes matches those houses. So if it's $350,000 on average, the taxes are 1% of your total value, meaning if it's $350,000, your house would be taxed per year $3,500. Now in Baltimore City, it's slightly higher, but usually that is the average. It's about 1% of total value. But if those taxes are way too high, then Baltimore County may not be for you, and that's okay. And finally, number 10 is, which I don't understand this, it's limited access to healthcare. Look, there are hospitals. How can you say in one breath that there's limited healthcare when healthcare seems to be like the majority of the employer here? I mean, you have Upper Chesapeake, Franklin Square, you have Bayview, Johns Hopkins, you have all these hospitals, and you also have patient first, physicians prompt care, you have critical care, you have emergency care, have all this care. So I'm going to say number 10 is a bust. It's not limited access to healthcare. It's just, you can't, and there's not healthcare on every block here, but that's okay too. You'll find what works best for you and your family, and that's all you need to know. So again, I'm John Ruckman. I'm the Charm City Property Dude. Listen, I get a lot of phone calls and emails and text messages from folks just like you. I absolutely love it. If you call me any day, night, or weekend, don't worry, I've got your back when it comes to real estate. I get that moving is like the top thing that most people don't want to do. But when you have somebody on the ground like me, giving you all the information that's up to date, and all the information's up to date and the most extensive, knowledgeable today's information, 2023 information that I know of, then it makes it a lot easier for you and your family. So yeah, check out either one of these videos here would be good. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next one.
I want to thank you very much for checking out the video. If you wouldn't mind, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. We're trying to get this mission out to everybody that looks at the video. I try to get as many people as I can help into Baltimore and the surrounding areas.